Welcome back. Yuriko Koike is now the governor of Tokyo. She will be leaving for Rio to receive the Olympic flag at the closing ceremonies and returning it to Tokyo, which will host the 2020 Olympics, a big deal for us. She is on a high horse now, and she published an editorial in the Japan Times in English. I think she probably penned it herself, talking about how she's going to shake things up.
I was really taken aback. I mean, she's started out already with a terrible relationship with all kinds of individuals, not just the Olympics minister who campaigned against Koike Yuriko. This is Minister Marukawa. We have a problem there, but her much bigger problem is with the Tokyo Assembly, which really gave her the cold shoulder when she tried to meet with them in her first week in office after winning decisively in an election. They showed absolutely, particularly the LDP, showed absolutely no openness to her, and in fact insulted her by sending out lower level officials to meet with her rather than top level. She's starting out that way. What is her purpose in actually taking it to a higher level and taking it outside the country by writing in English? I don't know. But she's talking about in the op-ed about going through the budget and looking for fraud and waste. Yes, of course, it's very important. And we've had, for many, many iterations, there is this problem with cities that host the Olympics. Usually that's a precursor to a national economic crisis, or at least the bankruptcy of a city. Ever since the '76 Montreal Olympics, every city has been trying to avoid spending a lot of money on every country, but with very few exceptions, perhaps the 1984 LA Olympics is the only exception, it has been an absolute sinkhole.
Right.
So yes, she has a certain basis for going after preemptively waste, fraud, and abuse. But wow, you were already in very poor relations with the Tokyo Assembly. And she's hinted that the problem is in the Tokyo Assembly and that they have made some special deals with all kinds of contractors and that the prices have been inflated because of cozy relationships. Wow, what a way to really say, hi, I'm here. There's a new sheriff in town. I just hope she has the guns in her holsters.
I actually read her editorial a little bit differently, and I was waving the flag because, I think if we focused a little bit on the Tokyo Assembly, like we do on national politics here on Tokyo on Fire, we might find something akin to the Chicago situation, where, in fact, graft, corruption is rampant in city dealings. And I think, the Olympics just kind of triggers that. It pulls that out of just the natural tendency to want to feather your own nest when you're on top of the pile that's deciding how budgets are done or bids are awarded.
I don't have that view of politics. Politics is about interest groups. It's about putting together coalitions of people who support you, and you pay those people back. If you don't, you're not going to have anyone support you. It's natural that there is a quid pro quo, that there is a little bit of feather bedding or lining one's nest, if you want to put it that way.
Because it's politics.
Because it's politics. Right. To come out with a holier-than-thou attitude. First of all, she comes out of the LDP herself. So she's obviously...
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. She's been, again, she's the iron butterfly. She's been flitting from one party to the next. To come out immediately with this attitude that I'm going to clean up this town. First of all, you're saying that the town's dirty. Problem number one. But two, who are your allies? Sure, she did well.
She did incredibly well. She didn't do just well. She got more than 1 million extra votes than her closest competitor.
Yes, but I don't know if that's enough. Quite frankly, yes, it's an attitude that's in the Junichiro Koizumi mode. I have the people behind me. They vote for me. I can turn them. And you, members of whatever, the parliament or the legislature or the assembly, you have better listen to what I say because I have the people behind me. That's really presumptuous on her part, I think. yes, she has data. She won by over 1 million votes. But are they really all voting for her to clean up the town? Did they think that the town was dirty to start off with? Or there's just, maybe they voted for her because she'd be the first woman governor.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. But I think she does have a tremendous amount of momentum behind her, and I think she's just trying to capture the flag. It's not just the Olympics, it's also where Tsukiji will be relocated, or where this Korean school will be. She's really accepted a lot of challenges, very significant ones.
The idea that there is some problem with Tsukiji, for example, for those, we should maybe backtrack and explain that the world famous market of fish and wholesaling that goes on there, that is famous all over the world for the tuna auction that happens, which is now actually, they're finally keeping tourists out in order to prevent contamination. It took them a long time to figure that one out.
Right.
People tromping in and out and touching and looking and stepping around the fish. Maybe there might be some kind of transfer of diseases and such things. It took them way too long to come to that.
This is a sidebar.
Yeah, the sidebar to that. But nevertheless, that entire entity is going to be closed down and replaced with a new facility, brand new facility, closer to the airport at Toyosu. And whatever Japanese may say about, the wonderful local fish, very little of Japan's seafood is local, in fact. And most of it is indeed flown in. And thus shrinking the distance between the wholesale market and the airport is a smart thing. Now, when they converted the Toyosu area from warehouses and refineries to the modern site, of course they found a lot of toxic chemicals, a lot of industrial pollution there. It had been an industrial site. They dug out all the dirt, they replaced it, but still there is a sizable group of people who don't want to move from Tsukiji and who have made a big stink, so to speak, about the possibility that there are still toxic chemicals at the Toyosu site. And she latched on to that and said that she would make sure, because it's all part of this cleaning up the town message, that she would make sure that it's safe.
Right.
Okay, it's going to, if she does anything material, it's going to really mess up the transfer, which has been in the planning for a very long time and is supposed to be put into play now, that she's going to try to bring in her
4 years left before the Tokyo Olympics come. The site of the Tsukiji market today is supposed to be the press center.
Any kind of delay in anything is just begging for trouble. And she comes in begging for trouble. And I'm really concerned about that.
I'm concerned too, but you can tell she is a woman on a mission. She has set her sights very high, and she might be setting herself up for a fall, or she might, in fact, succeed in making Tokyo one of the most magnificent cities in the world.
I would like to believe that, but there's a part of Yuriko Koike which is not the person, she's not on the high horse. In the editorial that she published, she absolutely stabs Yoichi Masazoi, the previous governor, in an unnecessary way. Over his financial issues that caused him to finally give up the governorship.
Easy target.
Easy target, cheap.
Cheap shot.
And if you're going to come in as the moral exemplar, you have to be on a higher level. You can't take those. You give that to an underling. She still is holding on to it. And if you go back through her English language productions, these editorials that she's written for Project Syndicate, there are so many of these unnecessary stabs in the back, in the side, in the face, whatever, to all these persons who opposed whatever it was that she was for, that you have a sense, if she needs to put together the city, but she has this tendency to knock people down or knock people from behind that's going to really put her in a very precarious position.
Well, diminishing your enemies and, coalescing your forces, it's been done in the Abe administration very successfully.
I disagree.
Well, look at the tightness of the cabinet and the longevity of the prime minister and his chief cabinet secretary and members of the cabinet, the finance minister, for example.
But what is the team around Yuriko Koike?
Oh, no, this is in the formation stages. We don't know yet. That's why it's so interesting to watch this, because is she setting herself up for a fall, or is she really going to continue this momentum?
She's a lone wolf. She doesn't have a following. They're talking about her forming a new party, but they talk about it in the context of a 3-city party, with her at the pole in Tokyo, Kawamura Takeshi in Nagoya, and whoever it is that's in charge of Osaka Ishin, whether it's Matsui or Hashimoto, whoever is really in charge there, that this would be a new cities-based national party. There is no core set of people around her. It's just the disaffected and the angry. But that's not good enough if you're going to be running this town.
You never know. It might be just creating something out of whole cloth. Her election as governor was out of left field. She took the initiative, she took the challenge, and she won by a significant margin.
Winning and running a government are two different things. Can we agree on that?
Yes, absolutely.
She has to run a government now, and her methods and her attitude, I think, are really dangerous.
If you wonder why we filmed Tokyo on Fire, this is precisely why. These kinds of issues are important to follow, to put them in a historical context, and watch how they develop into the future. Please stay tuned.